With an accusation leveled and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Taking to Instagram, AEW Tag Team Champion Bandito revealed he was injured during his match for CMLL last night, writing, "My apologies to the CMLL fanbase. My shoulder popped out and popped back into place. Thank you, Hechicero, for always being a gentleman. We owe a third one to our Mexican fanbase." Explaining why he decided to depart WWE after his first run with the company, MVP noted on the Marking Out podcast, "A lot of people thought that I got fired from WWE my first run. I asked for my release. I was making, my best year, I was just shy of $1 million. It was like 80 or, I was doing great. They were trying to give me a 5-year deal and I said, no, I don't want to re-sign. I want to go to Japan because I needed to rekindle my passion. They weren't happy because of how they were being booked, how they were being used, and that WWE corporate culture of that time. I promised myself I never wanted to be the guy showing up for the check. It was a bad business decision, but I felt my passion was rekindled." With Jordynne Grace calling on NXT and TNA to have her at the SHOWDOWN event on October 7th, TNA's HENDRY responded to this on X.
"Say his name and he appears." I just watched Jordan's video and you know what? She is absolutely correct. None of this happens without Jordynne Grace. You know what else is true? HENDRY changed the entire landscape of NXT versus TNA. I was the guy that got the call as TNA champion to be in the Royal Rumble, to face Randy Orton at WrestleMania. My first appearance in NXT was the most watched video in all of wrestling last year. And now you're going to tell me that I'm not involved in SHOWDOWN? Well, guess what? They're going to say his name, and he is going to appear at SHOWDOWN next Tuesday.
Many fans took to X to voice their concerns with the SmackDown broadcast on Netflix last night. They wrote, "Is anyone else's SmackDown keep glitching? Sort it out, Netflix. SmackDown, cancel Netflix. Anyone else having issues with SmackDown? Audio keeps cutting and the screen keeps freezing. Doesn't seem to be happening too much though." Technical problems with WWE Teleport to Netflix and NBC Universal gave technical failure. Why is the SmackDown stream lagging? Anyone else's stream messing up? Me too. My live quality is awful. Damn. Yes, going green and keeps going silent. Mine is, it's annoying. Priest just turned into Shrek for anyone else? A lot of tech issues tonight. I swear if there is some BS communication issues between Zaruka again in this match, I'm suing HBK even if he's not involved in this. What did you expect from that multi-billion-dollar company? It's hard out there having good tech and stuff. This is the type of stuff he had back then when people hijacked shows. Glad to see it's not just me with issues tonight. Was about to whack my projector. FML. Also, I hope Piper Niven is okay. Just me or Netflix keeps glitching. Could be the storm. Netflix, stop cutting the audio. After Jade Cargill had her head split open from hitting steel steps on SmackDown last week, Booker T made this comment on his Hall of Fame podcast. "You could tell there was a lot of miscommunication in the match as well. For me, it's no different than what we do at Reality of Wrestling with girls and triple threats. Trying to put the girls in the best position to be comfortable in the ring is the most important thing. You have NIL talent in Tiffany Stratton. You have Jade Cargill, who is pretty much just fresh off her AEW run. Just think about the time in AEW for her. She probably didn't learn a whole lot. No disrespect or anything, but she was put on a wing and never really got a chance to wrestle anybody, right? Then you have Nia Jax, who has been there and is going to feel like, I need to quarterback this thing. I feel I know more than these girls. It could have been a plethora of things, but you can tell there was a lot of miscommunication. One thing about matches like that, the only thing they're going to remember is the finish. You have to get everybody to that point where that finish can happen and boom, it goes off without a hitch. That didn't happen in this match. Was it a botch? Heck yeah, it was a botch. A miscommunication, a screw up. Whatever term you want to put on it, that can happen on live television. Ringside News added, according to Fightful Select, talent from WWE, AEW, and even TNA were confused by Booker T's claim. Many pointed out that Jade Cargill has already wrestled more matches in WWE than she ever did in AEW, so the argument that she's still raw from her previous run doesn't exactly add up. With Gail Kim appearing on the Huge Pop podcast to explain her comments about AEW star Riho, an email was sent to those running the podcast. As former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas provided a screenshot of it, it reads, "You are all pathetic. Tony Khan is going to buy your stupid show and cancel it. You had Gail Kim on your stupid show because she hates Rio and hates real wrestling, AEW. Gail Kim is stupid and doesn't know wrestling and is jealous of someone like Riho who is better and more experienced. If I ever see any of you, I'll destroy you myself and Gail." Touching on Bronson Reed's WWE contract status, Fightful Select reported sources revealed that Bronson Reed re-signed with WWE quite a long time ago on a multi-year deal. Even though time has already been ticking on the new deal, we're told that he's worked himself to be in a position to get another deal in the next year or so. When it comes to the possibility of Alberto Del Rio returning to WWE, Ringside News wrote that WWE's acquisition of AAA earlier this year brought plenty of fresh talent into its system, but fans are still wondering where Alberto Del Rio fits in all of this. Despite being one of the most recognizable names from AAA, Del Rio is yet to appear in any WWE-affiliated crossover shows like Worlds Collide or Triple Mania. While he's remained absent from major WWE appearances, fans in Mexico haven't forgotten him. Chants of Alberto have been echoing through AAA shows, signaling there's still strong support from the fan base, but his future? It's a mystery, one that WWE apparently hasn't solved yet. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE did inherit Del Rio's AAA deal when they acquired the company. However, nothing has been finalized on how or if he'll be used in any WWE programming. Del Rio last wrestled on September 26th at a AAA affiliate event teaming with Mr. Iguana in a winning effort, but there's a twist. Before WWE's takeover, Del Rio was written out of AAA in a loser leaves town match. That, paired with his history of legal issues and past incidents during his WWE run, is giving decision makers plenty of pause. As the Observer put it, there are people backstage pulling for Del Rio's return due to his star power and continued popularity in Mexico, but others aren't convinced, pointing to his past controversies and the risks that might come with bringing him back. For now, WWE seems content letting things play out before making a move. Del Rio is technically under their control, but the company is taking a wait-and-see approach, and until they make that call, those crowd chants might be the only spotlight he gets. Going over when Andrade signed with AEW following his firing from WWE, Ringside News said Andrade's AEW return on the October 1st episode of Dynamite caught fans off guard, but behind the scenes, things were already in motion long before he took out Kenny Omega and joined the Don Callis family. According to Fightful Select, Andrade's AEW contract was officially finalized in the last week. But what's even more interesting is that AEW had already mapped out creative plans for him before the deal was signed. This confirms that the surprise return wasn't just a last-minute call. It was a calculated move that AEW had been prepared for, even as final paperwork was still being sorted. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter also pointed out that Andrade's return wasn't just about storyline, it's also about strategy. AEW is aiming to grow its reach in Mexico and sees Andrade as a valuable figure with strong name recognition on Fox Sports Mexico. Staying on the topic of Andrade, PW Insider had reported that he was cut from WWE due to multiple wellness policy violations over the last year. Lucha Blog added to this, writing, "Numerous means WWE is burying WWE nearly as much as they're burying AEW. How effective is a policy that allows someone to accumulate numerous violations without being suspended? Cruising through Cage Match quickly, there's no gap where Andrade goes between matches for 90 or even 30 days during that WWE run, like one would expect if someone's been violating the policy. Numerous violations of an effective wellness policy should trigger an automatic firing. It comes across as if WWE is a wellness policy that they no longer enforce unless it's needed as a tool to remove someone. That's not ideal, putting aside the moral and ethical reasons why that policy existed in the first place. It means WWE is collecting information on failed wellness, drug tests, and then seemingly not acting on them. You really don't want to have that information on hand unless you're going to do something with it, because it will only exist to be leaked at unfavorable times or used in a legal situation. It was helpful for WWE to be able to leak it here, but it may not be helpful the next time it gets out. You should not take notes on a criminal conspiracy. And you should also not have a folder of here's all the times we caught someone on drugs if you're not taking action on it until numerous failures. Speaking about his experience dealing with backlash due to his controversial raps in AEW, Max Caster said this on AEW: "Just don't apologize. That's the #1 rule. Anybody who apologizes is an idiot. I've obviously done things to upset people close to me that I'm supposed to work with. I apologized to Anthony Bowens for saying something out of line, and I apologized to my boss. But I'm not going to apologize to the people who want me fired or want me dead for the things I do or say, because you know what? A lot of people like the things I do and say, and in 2 days, no one will even remember it because someone else will do something crazy. That's how America works. People build you up just to tear you down, and once you're up, they try to drag you all the way down again. I tore myself down to come back to this. That's just how it is. So people need to realize that. Don't apologize for anything you do or say if it's just people calling for your head. It's pointless. That's how I've survived." As Jordynne Grace posted a clip going over how she has not been advertised for NXT SHOWDOWN, General Manager of NXT Ava responded to this on X.
Alright Jordynne, you're right. You made some pretty good points, and you know what? I agree with you. I don't think that there would be this NXT TNA crossover partnership without everything that you've done starting 2 years ago. So I have decided that you are going to be the special guest referee for the Women's Survivor Series style match on Tuesday. Now, with that said, I know that you have a history with a lot of these women, so I'm asking you, please be professional and use your discretion. I'll see you Tuesday.
Recalling his time working with Vince McMahon in WWE, Alberto Del Rio told Eduardo Bates, "Vince created all the characters. The entire golden era of WWE exists because of him. What most people don't know, because they really don't know him, is that he's the mastermind behind the industry. Everything we have in wrestling today exists thanks to him. I was always one of his favorites because of my dedication, professionalism, and effectiveness. Because Alberto Del Rio can do whatever he wants with the crowd. He makes them believe, makes them feel that what's happening in the ring is real, exactly as he intends it to be." During that same interview, Del Rio addressed fans continuing to chant for him at AAA events under WWE. Well, that's something nobody can decide for the fans. The fans love or hate whoever they want. Social media, the internet, television. They just spread it. Some do it truthfully, others just want likes, views, or a bit of relevance for a week. We are the protagonists, the ones who step into the ring to give our all. I have nothing but respect for El Hijo del Vikingo. He's a great wrestler, a great prospect for our business, someone who will go far, but the fans were the ones who felt unsatisfied, who felt deceived or betrayed. I just go out and do my job. It's like Maximus says in Gladiator, I have the fortune to look my enemy in the eye and decide my destiny. The rest, you, the fans, decide. Touching on contracts in TNA that could be expiring sooner than later, Ringside News wrote that TNA Wrestling has signed quite a few solid talent over the past couple of years, in line with their current resurgence as a company. However, it seems several TNA talent contracts will be expiring very soon. According to Fightful Select, it was noted that Cedric Alexander's TNA contract is a short-term deal rather than a long-term commitment. His current agreement is expected to last through Bound for Glory 2025, meaning he could become a free agent shortly after next year's major event. Several other wrestlers on TNA shows, including some in the NXT vs TNA crossover, are said to be working without official contracts right now. This has become common as TNA tries to manage its budget and work out new deals for its roster. Even though Alexander's deal is short, people in TNA are confident he'll stay. The company plans to offer him a new contract before his current one ends. They see him as a key veteran who helps both in the ring and behind the scenes during this period of change and growth. In addition to Alexander, several other TNA contracts are also expected to expire around Bound for Glory 2025. The promotion is said to be actively working to renew or extend deals with top talent to ensure stability as it moves into 2026. With several contracts set to expire next year, fans can expect some major behind-the-scenes moves as TNA works to shape its roster for the future. It remains to be seen whether any wrestlers will end up leaving the company this year. After suffering a broken foot during his match for TNA on September 27th, Ridge Holland gave an update following surgery, saying this in a video on X.
Whoa, so just laying here, just taking my painkillers to give me some lovely hydrocodone, which takes the edge off slightly. Oh man, it's always weird. I was saying to my wife that I must be able to handle all this shit, because for the past 7 years it's been a bit of a bumpy ride with the wrestling business, you know. Just as I'm starting to get rolling, something happens. Same again this time, you know. TNA, a couple of good matches, and then, you know, this happens. But again, we heal, we recover, we march forward, and I'm looking forward to coming back and, you know, getting in the best shape of my life. And I guess I'm using this as like all these injuries and all these ups and downs, I'm using it as like lessons for my kids, I guess, and anyone else that wants to, you know, that wants to take notice that it doesn't matter what happens to you really, there's always a way back. If you just believe, you don't even have to have a plan. So everyone always wants a plan, but we're all winging it, and I think that you just gotta want something and take the first step, and then you just pivot and adjust on certain situations, but keep moving forward. A lot of support, a lot of get well messages. So thanks for them, and great, you know, service of care from the ANDRADE'S orthopedic team here in Birmingham, Alabama. They do a lot of work with the WWE'S, so they truly are the best in the field. So I want to thank Dr. Waldrop and his team for taking really good care of me. And now I just want to get home, see my kids, and yeah, I've had a couple of days off, like I've been a bit more relaxed with the diet, which has been quite nice actually. So yeah, not looking forward to this flight home, but needs must. Hopefully this pain will die down in the next couple of days. But yeah, speak soon.
Despite his abrupt departure from WWE, AEW's Andrade said this about his untimely exit from the company, telling TJ Sports, "How do I feel after leaving WWE? I had been chasing this championship for such a long time. Today, after leaving WWE, everything happens for a reason. I've worked hard, almost over 20 years as a professional wrestler. I've been in this business for more than 20 years. I know that The Crash is a very respected company, both nationally and internationally, and I had set myself the goal that if one day I left WWE again, I would go after the Crash World Heavyweight Championship. The company gave me that opportunity, and I'm very grateful. To win this championship from the Crash is an honor for me. It's my first championship since leaving WWE, and now that I'm in AEW, I'll be going after the AEW Championship too. As you said, when I left WWE, my first appearance was here in Tijuana. I'm very thankful to the Crash for the opportunities they've given me. I've left most companies on good terms. I also left WWE well. I always tell other wrestlers, don't speak badly about companies. Companies will always remain, but we wrestlers get injured, we pass away, and wrestling continues. That's the advice I give. Don't badmouth promotions. When I was younger, I sometimes spoke out, but I've always respected every company." Staying on the topic of Andrade, Dave Meltzer claimed he misled AEW President Tony Khan before he left the promotion to sign with WWE, noting on Wrestling Observer Radio. Andrade led Tony Khan to believe he was re-signing. Khan thought they had a renewal agreement in place, though it wasn't signed yet. Khan pursued him until the last moment, despite insiders knowing Andrade was headed to WWE. When Andrade's contract expired, he left. He's talented in the ring, but so is everyone these days. 5 years ago, Andrade was uniquely special, but now many wrestlers match or surpass him in skill, mic work, and charisma. AEW has enough talent. They don't need, I see everyone like celebrating. Oh my god, this is so great. When all this, he had lots of problems in AEW, also over disciplinary reasons. One of the biggest problems with this company has been the usage of WWE guys that were not pushed in WWE. As people who know Andrade have told me, he'll always think of Tony Khan as secondary to WWE no matter what, and that's, you're asking for trouble. If Tony's not going to learn lessons, then he'll repeat mistakes. I hope I'm wrong, but the track record isn't good. Andrade responded to this on X, writing, "Dave Meltzer, you talk too much without proof, and sir, I'll only tell you one thing. When my contract with AEW ended, I personally went man to man to thank Mr. Tony Khan for the opportunity to be in AEW, and that's all I'll tell you. If I wanted to talk more, I would show you that you're wrong about many things, but you keep killing the business." And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.